the Rebbe is telling me that das is the key. What is the das the key? In order for me to be megala, the hastorah, and the hastorah, the revelation of the concealment and the concealment within a concealment. What is the concealment? Let's just try to bring this in. The concealment. Do you know what a concealment is? Do you feel concealment? Sometimes there's one concealment when you know you're in concealment. You know that you are. Hashem's not. I'm not feeling you. I know you're here. Of course I know you're here, but I don't know where you are. I don't feel you. I don't see you. There's another type of concealment where you don't even know. You have no awareness that you're not even. You think that everything is good. Yeah. How's life? You speak to guys. How's life? Life is great. I was in such a place where I felt nothing. Everything's great. Like my life is great. Nothing. Some people, you walk around. They feel that they have a void. I don't feel like I have a void. Everything is good. When I want to connect to Hashem, I go to Beis Medrash, and when I don't want to connect to Hashem, I check out. And the Malach Galach syndrome, part Malach. When I'm a noman, when I'm in the mood, I come to the Kollel a little bit, and I still do it in a way. You come to Eretz Yisrael, you want to you get a little injection of spirituality, then you want to come up with that in spirit, and not only that. If the spirituality becomes a little too intense, if it becomes too intense, you say, that's too intense for me. And you put it away. You say, I can't let myself. I don't know if I had this. Last year, like Boima, I was in Maran. I still remember. I was davening by Reb Shimon. I went to the Pesach Hamar, and I had a tremendous urge. Like I felt so, all of a sudden it opened up. And as I'm going through this Osiris, the monkey in my head says, okay, it's time to leave. Like, he's pushing me. I didn't even finish my tikkun HaKol, and the monkey is telling me, I gotta go. You gotta go. This is too intense. You can't stay in this place. You're crazy. You're gonna be a flip out if you stay into this. And I'm going through, in my head, I'm going through this thing. No, I want to daven. And the monkey's mom is fighting with me. And then finally, I said to the monkey, I said, listen to me. I am staying here until any time you say to me to go, I'm staying. And I stayed, and I broke myself, and it was hard. And I stayed until finally the monkey went away, but at the end, he wins. You know what I'm saying? He always wins, and he doesn't really win. He pretends to win. So anyway, those are when I think, so I'm coming there, because I'm looking. What?
He doesn't win, you end up leaving.
I end up leaving, yeah. Okay, but he won because he was still there. He was still there. It was him that pushed me, because be'emes, I didn't want to leave. I wanted to feel this delightful.
It's rest of the show.
Yeah, I got you. I understand, but it goes way before the time of shir. You understand? If it would wait for the real, if we can have an equal balance, or even, I'm asking 10-1, but give me the 1. You understand? He doesn't give me. He gives even in the 1. He makes you crazy. You understand? He makes you crazy. So that is a hastar. That is, you're playing with a concealment. Now everybody has a different level of hastar and a different level of hastar. By others it could be on a much. I'm talking about my hastar. So what's hastar shabbatay hastar? When you come and you say, okay, I made shalom with the Yitzhar, I'm good. Or chas v'shalom. The Rebbe talks about 3 types of women. By the way, women need to give value. But the emphasis is that he talks about the Eishes Chayil also. He talks about the Nashim. There are 3 types of women. One, Nashim represent weakness. The weakness is within us. There's 3 types of weakness. There's a weakness where I don't have the power to overcome. That means I know what's right. I'm going the other way backwards, yeah? Dafka, by the way, because I feel it goes in levels. So I can't overcome it. I know you're here, Hashem. I know what to do. I know the right thing. But that seems to be one astar.
Our verse is that's astar mitzad atzma. Hashem's not even giving him that astar. That's like your astar. You think I can't even do it.
Oh really? I didn't see that. Nice. Yeah, I didn't see that. So astar. That's that. So let's not categorize it. That's one way of weakness, and there's another one that I knew once upon a time that Hashem was here. I knew this was us or mutter, and this is the way to connect to spirituality. I forgot about it. That's also from the lashon of nashim. Oh, I forgot to say, nashim is nashis agvurosam, where I got weak. And there's another nashim, kinoshani elikim, where I forgot. And there's another type of nashim, shenashim v'kavtzim and kamish. I'm checked out. I'm totally checked out. I got no connection. But don't bother me with the spirituality. Don't try to convince me to spirituality. And we all go through each one of these kind of nashim. We all go through moments where we're completely checked out. Not only we completely checked out, we righteously say that this is the way to do it. And you know what? That's not for me. That's not for me.
Active. They're jumping.
Yeah, I'm jumping. I'm jumping. I'm jumping away from you. I'm jumping away from you because this is not for me. That's for, the real spiritual guys. That's not for me. And you exit out and you make it that you justify and you make it right. That's the worst one. And then there's the notion where I knew once that it was wrong, but when I was a bacha in yeshiva and I was really connected with my spirituality, that was the way to do it. And then there's another one where I know now I really want to. I just can't. I don't have the power. I'm an addict. I can't give up. So the Rebbe says that these are the hastaras. And these are the hastaras. And what happens? So he says like this, it's unbelievable. And we're going to go into the depth of it a little bit. The hastara, one hastara, when one concealment, which means I know you're here, Hashem, but I don't know where, I don't feel you, I don't see you. That's one hastara. That hastara, you can still go and try to find Hashem because you know that He's here. You know that it's wrong to do this. You know that this is what I should be doing, but you're not able to, for whatever weakness you have, you're not able to overcome it. But you could still go and find Hashem. But then there's another hastara, torah hastara, which means I justified it. This is me. And you ever heard that expression? This is me. And what do you want from me? This is me. Right? This is me. So that's not for me. This is not for me. That's hastara torah hastara. Because I think that I'm doing the right thing. I'm justifying. I feel that this is the way I'm supposed to be. And Hashem is okay with it. We're okay. Me and you, Rabbi, I give you yours, you give me mine. My father used to tell me, used to say, you made peace with the Yetzer Hara. When I was a bacher, he told me, you made peace with the Yetzer Hara. You learn, and then you party. So you made peace. You tell the Yetzer Hara, you give me this, I give you this. He said, my father says you can't make peace with the Yetzer Hara. At the end, he keeps chapping. He chaps more, and he chaps more. The more you justify, the more he tries to chap. Anyway, so logically, when you're in hastara, Shabbatay hastara, that means if you know Hashem is here and you're missing Hashem, so you can go and attempt to find Hashem. But when you justify and you think that everything is good and it's okay, how could you even look for it? Because you're content. How could you even look for it? And it goes in every madrega in hastara, Shabbatay hastara. So logically, how could you search for something that you're not missing? You can only search for something if you know it's missing. You're looking for it. But if it's not missing, says the Rebbe, yeah, you're right. Logically, you can't. But if you can just acknowledge, this is such a fascinating concept. If you just acknowledge and you say, I know that nothing can exist in this world without Hashem. There's nothing in the world. Even the Aveira, Hashem is there because it can't exist without the chiyas of Hashem. And the Eibishter is everywhere. He is everywhere. There's nothing, no object. The Rebbe says like this, b'machshava, b'dibur, b'maisa. In your thoughts, in your diburim, in your maisim, there is nothing that exists without Hashem because it can't have vitality. It can't have sustenance without the Eibishter. But it's in a tremendous concealment. But if you acknowledge it, and it's so hard, think about it. I want to just say that, like in a practical way, in the Eitzes, we're talking a little bit different now, right? In the Eitzes, so hard to acknowledge the Eibishter in Aveira. How could you acknowledge him in the Aveira? You know you're doing the wrong thing, and if you acknowledge that you're doing the wrong thing, it's to acknowledge that in my Avera here, I'm acknowledging that I did an Avera. Okay, that's vidui. I can acknowledge, but to acknowledge that you're in my Avera, you're with me in my Avera. How could it be that we were taught in the yeshiva that the Eibishter is in the base medrash? And when you do an Avera, there's no, what do you mean? You did an Avera, but they don't talk about it. We don't talk about falling b'chalal in the yeshivas. We don't even talk about, forget about talking about being an expert faller. That the Rebbe is always telling you how to fall and how to be an expert faller. So we don't, so the Rebbe is telling us like this: if you acknowledge that even in the Avera, the Rebbeinu Shalom is here, that's called Yediyah. That's called Das, on a very, very small level. And when you just acknowledge that, you're going to be mahabach the Oishis HaTorah. Why? Because when you did an Avera, how do you get to do an Avera? The Gemara says, Ava V'shana, Nasa Leketa. When a person does an Avera and he repeats that Avera, that becomes Nasa Leketa. Rebbe Nachman teaches, what does it mean, Nasa Leketa? There are Oishis, the vitality of the Chaya Chaim that goes into every single thing in the world is the Oishis HaTorah. The Oishis HaTorah are what exist in the spirituality, the molecules in the table, in every object, the atoms that are here. When in the spiritual way, what is it? It's Oishis HaTorah. Rebbe explains that the reason why it's an Oishis HaTorah is a symptom of spirituality. It's a constriction. Hashem is infinite and unlimited, and there's no way for us to be able to attach ourselves to this giant power plant that's infinite and unlimited. So how are we able to connect to the Eibishter? The way to connect to the Eibishter is through the Torah, because the Torah does two things. The Torah is Shmo HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's the name of Hashem, and when you want to prompt a person to give you something, to have any kind of access, if I want access from a person, I need to prompt him. How do I prompt him? I call him by his name. Same thing with the Rebbeinu Shalom. When you want to call the Rebbeinu Shalom, you need to call him by his name. What's the name of the Rebbeinu Shalom? The Torah. But the problem is that when you're prompting this huge, infinite, unlimited power plant to get chiyas from it, you can't, and I need a certain amount, small wattage. I can't, if I want to connect a 20 watt thing to a 1,000 watts, it doesn't work. So you need a converter. The converter is Kalim. The Kalim is the Torah. The Oishis HaTorah. Since the Torah is made up of components, letters, words, sentences, paragraphs, and these are all tzimtzumim. These are all different converters that we're able to access from the Chaya Chaim, from the biggest power bond in the world, in order to get connection. And we get the dosage that we need from this power plant through connecting through the Oishis HaTorah. Says the Rebbe, which is fascinating, that when you acknowledge, so what happened when you did the Avera? When you did the Avera, you took Loi Signov, Rebbe says in a different Torah, you took Loi Signov and you made it Signov. So you scrambled these Oishis HaTorah, and when you repeated the Avera, and you did it again, Nasa Loi Keheter becomes mutter to him, because he took the Oishis HaTorah that said no, that said Aser, and he made it mutter. He made a new tziruf. And when he repeats the Avera, and he continues to do the Avera, Av V'Shon and Nasa Loi Keheter, then what happens is he's sucking out all the vitality of the Chachmas HaTorah, and he's making the Torah look foolish, because the Torah is telling you not to do it, or yes to do it. It doesn't make a difference which way. And when you're taking out the vitality until you make the Torah look foolish, and you make it kilo, the Torah is not, there's no Chachmas HaTorah, and that's what happens, and then you fall into Ribuy Averas. The Rebbe says, it's a pattern. The Yitzhak gets you with one Avera, then he makes you repeat it, and then he gets you out Ribuy Averas, and that's already when you're in the Astar Shabbataycha Astar. Says the Rebbe.
And then it becomes Mishra.
He brought it as a because the Rebbe brings it in a different way. The point is that what we do to ourselves, we create the layers, and we are creating the distances. And who are we really distancing from ourselves? Because where is the Rebbeinu Shalom? The Rebbeinu Shalom is in us. The Rebbeinu Shalom is inside. We think we have to run to go. These are all external things to bring us to our real self, to the real you, the real person that's inside you. But you're layered with astaras and astaras. And we give up, because how are we gonna? We're like you said, it's Misha Gama. It's justified. This is me. Don't change me. I'm content. Now at 54 years old, you're going to tell me I got to do this. No, you know what? I'm not going to get there because logically, how could he get to something? How could he get to godliness and spirituality when he doesn't even know that he's not connected to spirituality? He only knows that he thinks it's all right. How could he get there logically? So that's what the Rebbe is telling you, the acknowledgement. In other words, that's the voice. I say like this, you know the voice inside us? You know the voice, everybody familiar with the voice that, come on, how long are you going to be a fool? You're going to do this again? I'm sure every addict says that, no, when they think, you're going to do this again? You know, I'm running away from my voids. What am I running away? I'm running to my whatever substance or whatever it is that I'm running to because I don't want to meet this feeling and I got to protect myself from meeting this feeling. So I run to something that's temporary comfort, that's always going to give me this temporary comfort and numb me and take me away from feeling the feelings that I don't want to feel. We had this in Torah Lamed Gimel. I don't know if you remember that when we spoke about that feeling is from Hashem. The feelings that we get, that all the negative feelings, they're also in our toolbox. The same way the positive, we don't want to acknowledge that. But the voice inside us that said, always a voice inside us that's saying to you, don't. Hello. How long you did this again and again and again and again and again and again? How long are you going to be a fool? I must say to have a pesi. That voice is the das. And that is the voice. What does it mean, the das? Here's my interpretation of the das. You said it before, but I said it in a different word. Das is the connection to the spirituality. Everything in the world has spirituality. That's what the Rebbe is revealing us. Even the Avera has spirituality. The Machshava Dibur Ma'aseh is spirituality. So when I'm connecting, das is connecting to that spirituality. So here's what I want to say. So if we go a little B'nai Obey, the Rebbe started off the Torah to tell us that every Jew has a malchus, and there are different categories of malchus, and different dosages of malchus, and the different positions of malchus. There's sorry Elef, sorry Meir, and then the malchus is divided into two components. There's a component of the revealed malchus and the malchus b'iskasia. So I ask like this. The Rebbe says that the malchus, the concealed malchus, the malchus b'iskasia, is definitely not contingent on the malchus b'isgalia, because you can have one that has no malchus at all, but revealed malchus, but yet b'iskasia is Moshel al kol ador, al kol tzaddik ador. He can rule the whole world. But the question is, in the malchus, in the revealed malchus, that means I have a revealed malchus over my family. Do I also have a concealed malchus over my family? Means that there's something concealed. Otherwise, it had to be concealed. There still has to be something concealed. Revealed means I'm revealing. What am I revealing? I'm revealing that there's a concealment. So if I'm revealing concealment, that means that even if I'm Sarah B'Beisa, and it's me and my children, and my wife and my children, then there has to be more. I'm not just ruling and influencing them and the ultimate goal is V'hoisal Hashem Amlucha, where the Eibishter's malchus is going to be revealed, which means that all the malchus that's Be'iskasia is going to become to be Be'izgalia. That's the ultimate goal. And our job is, we are the officers in Kollel Toras Yisrael. We are all the officers, and we're all different positions in this Melucha of Hashem, to reveal the malchus Be'iskasia, and to make it till that means the malchus b'izgalia, the malchus b'iskasia have to be one. So when in the history of the Jewish nation were we one in the malchus b'iskasia and the malchus b'izgalia? Shuas. Shuas is the time when we were the oneness, mamish. Everything was revealed. We became a nation on Matan Torah. We became Ba'atam Tihul Mamlechas Kana V'Goy Kodesh. There was a tremendous revelation. The biggest event probably in the history of even the other events of Yitzis Mitzrayim and the Kriyas Yam were big moifsim, and Matan Torah had also big moifsim, but l'chayr, the biggest event in the history of Klal Yisrael was Matan Torah, because that's when we became a nation. That's when we got this malchus, and that's when we got it. We were on the level of this das elyon, like the Rebbe says, this tremendous, where the spirituality and the physicality were mamish, one mamish. It was one mamish. You didn't see a table. You saw the table. You saw the table, and you saw this, and you saw Hashem. You You saw spirituality everywhere. Vayhi kol ha'am ro'im es hakolos. We saw there was a tremendous revelation of das. So when was another time in history that we had this revelation of the Malchus B'Iskasya became revealed? That when was another? Give me another time in Klal Yisrael.
Purim.
Purim. But Purim, what's the difference between Purim and Shavuos? What was the difference? I mean, let me ask you better. Let me give you value. Let's bring the Gemara. Vayisyatzvu tachta sahar. Gemara says, Melamed shekof aleim har chagigas. The Kodesh Baruch Hu took the mountain, he put it on top of them. Im ata mekabel es ha-Torah. If you're going to be mekabel the Torah, mutter. V'im lav shamtei kvura aschem. Then this will be your kvura. So the Gemara says, Mikan Maidor Rabbi Raisa. Over here you have a tremendous taina to the Rebbe Nachman. What do you mean? You forced me. You told me that if I got no choice, so I had no bechira. Of course I said yes. So anytime I do an avera, I'm out. I'm honest. Rashi says you have a taina zone. And for the Gemara, Hada Kiblu b'Me'ach HaShver, with Makabel the Torah again b'Me'ach HaShver, Shenemar Kimu v'Kiblu Ayudah. So I have a question. The question is, according to this Gemara, then Matan Torah should have been Purim. If Ikka Kabbalah's HaTorah was on Purim, and Taka from Matan Torah we had a Taina Zionis, then why don't we celebrate Purim, Kabbalah's HaTorah on Purim? And Shavuos maybe we could celebrate, I don't know, it's not Purim, but that's number one. Number two is in Matan Torah, there's psukim in the Torah that are telling you about this event. There was a preparation to the event. There was a major event. In Purim, the whole story of the Megillah, there's three words that say Kimu v'Kibla Ayudah. If you look at the story is all talking about the ness of being saved. We were going to be Lahash v'La'ar but it's called Ayudah, and now we were being saved. So what is this big? So I was thinking, again, this is not completely thought out. Maybe you guys can help me out over here, but I was thinking that according to this Torah, you can mamish answer this Gemara of Givaldik. And what do we learn from this Torah? What is Malchus? What is this concept of Malchus? Malchus really means to be a makabel. What does it mean to be a makabel? To be a receiver. To be a melech, I need to receive. What do I need to receive? I need to receive arichas yom. I need to get chayis. I need to constantly bring in vitality into my malchus. Otherwise, I'm going to be harabonos mekaveres as baleh. So that means ultimately, what is malchus? The more I'm a receiver, the more I bring in arichas yom into my malchus, the more I'm going to be megala my hastoras. When I'm going to be megala my hastoras, and my hastoras are b'derech hastorah, automatically everyone who's under nishmaisem targov, they're going to be in this gala. They're going to all of a sudden hear the voices of Admasai Pesi Tavu Pesi, and that's how my malucha is going to be built. So come to us like this, that the malchus is being a makab. So zog the Gemara, kaf aleim har kagis, im atem mekabel. Stop. I was thinking like this. Im atem mekabel. If you're going to be mekabel, Torah mutter. The Rebbe says that the Torah will be toiv. That's going to bring the das. But there are two types of das in this Torah. There's the das elyon of Shavuos, and there's the das that Mordechai Tzaddik did, that he was able, the das Shleim Esther, that he was megalos. I wanted to say that there's two. There was Mordechai Tzaddik that he came and he was megala the das. That was a das from taking one second. The Rebbe talks about two types of Astorah and Astorah Shabbatach Astorah. There's Astorah where the Eibushter is and he's hiding from us. And then there's Astorah Shabbatach Astorah where he puts himself Vanoichi Haster Aster. And then there's Astorah where we create the Astorah where it's Ava V'Shon and Astor Keheter. And then Riba Averis that we're creating the Astorah. So we ask the question, which way is it? Is it the Astorah that the Eibushter is concealing from us, or is it from us to? So this, it's both. So everybody would say that we're causing it, but it's not true, because then the Rebbe would have started off telling us about the stars that we create, and then come to tell us about the stars that they're able to create. But Yitzias Mitzrayim, that was a star that the Eibushter created. That's a star that came from the Rebbe Nachman. The Maisa of Haman was a star that came from us. That's a story that came from us. So I wanted to say like this. Perhaps Im atem mekablim, the Gemara is telling you, then Torah mutav, then the Torah will be mutav. It's going to be megala this das elyon. That's going to be shavuos. V'im lav sham teik furaschem. The Harabonos mekaber says balel that if you're not going to be a makabel, you're going to take the Torah, the malchus that we have, la nosel l'torah. Harabonos mekaber says balel sham teik furaschem. That's going to be your. Who the Tana is. Mikan moidor rabba lo'iraisa. Now mikan over here, it's talking about das elyon. Moidor is das. Rabba is das elyon. Mikan moidor rabba lo'iraisa. That the Rebbe tells you that oiraisa is shma de kutchabrichu. That and oiraisa machrezes kama pasyan. I forgot who the Tana is or whatever it is. Hodu kiblu b'me'ach hashverish. There was another Kabbalah Torah that happened to be Me'ach HaShverish, that was a Das Tachdon that came from the Tzaddik, that it was a Das HaShloim Ezer because he infused Arichas Yomim into the Astorah Shebetoich Astorah, and he was Megala, that Astorah, and that was the Das that came from the Tzaddik. I don't have it completely. I was thinking that it mamish fits exactly into the Torah. So anyway, the Vart of Das is that Das is connection. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for to find, how do I find the spirituality in everything? And the Rebbe is telling you, know how you find the spirituality in everything? When you start looking for it in your Averis. I think this is like a Gilui Nifla, that the place to start finding Hashem is not in the Beis Medrash, and not, it's starting to look for Him in my Averis. To have an awareness. It starts with awareness, acknowledgement. I'm acknowledging like an awareness. And when I start going into that awareness, I'm able to connect to the spirituality that's in everything. And the place to start is when you want to unlayer something. What do you start with? The top layer. And where's the top layer? The Astorah is the Aveira. The Rebbe is telling you such a crazy, beautiful concept. You know where you start. You know where you go into to get. Right. The one that's about the one that you already justified that you're over there. Try to go into those places. So, and I want to tell you something. I hope we all have this, right? We at least a few minutes a day that we talk to Hashem. My Hizbaitis, I started talking to my emotions. I'll tell you, I met a guy. And he did it. 5-minute therapy with me. I think he did it. He said, "Do you meditate?" I said, "Yeah, of course I meditate." He says, "Let me tell you a method that he maybe you heard it. I didn't hear it. It was ever since my mom started using it. I love it." He said like this. He said, "Okay, breathe. Breathe. 2 minutes of breathing. Concentrate only on your breathing. Clear your mind of any other thoughts. Just concentrate on your breathing. And whatever I'm going to tell you." You just tell me the first thing that pops into your head. Okay? I'm breathing, I'm concentrating. He says, okay, make a room in your head and paint the color. What color do you see? I said yellow. That's not my favorite. Like, you don't say the things that you think you're going to say. It was like things that you say spontaneously. Okay, now put parts of your body into the room. Like visualize your hands, your feet. Okay, put your emotions in your room. Whatever emotions come up, what emotion do you see there? I said, fear. He says, okay, ask fear if fear will go with you to a side room to talk to you. And I said, no. Fear says no. He goes, okay. You say thank you to fear. And ask him, is there any other emotion in the room that you see? I said, yeah, love. So he goes, ask love. Love wants to talk to me. What does love say to you? Love says, I love you. Say, love, thank you for being there for all the years you've been there with me. Thank you so much. Love, can you do me a favor? Go ask fear if fear will come into the room while you're present in the room. Yes, fear is ready to come. He says, okay, do me a favor. Ask fear, how old is he? First thing that pops into my head, 2. He says, okay, ask fear, how old does he think you are? I said, 8. I'm telling you, it popped into my head. This is what popped in. So he says, okay, so tell fear how much you love him and how much you appreciate him being there for you from 2 to 8. But right now you're 54 years old and you don't need him anymore. He's welcome to be there. He's a part of you and you accept him whenever he comes. And it was goodness. I mean, for me, it was like just like, I never meditated that way. I never meditated where I was able to talk to my emotion. and I recognize that this is where it's coming, but I can actually have a dialogue with my emotion. I was always talking to Hashem about my emotion. It's really the same thing. It's Hainu Hach. I'm talking to my emotion. So when you start going into awareness of your hastaras, when you start going into das, that's the step one of das is what's awareness? I'm connecting to something I wasn't connected to. I was distracted from. I was denying whatever tool I used not to be in awareness, not to recognize. And now I'm connecting. What am I really connecting to? I'm really connecting to the spirituality that's underneath the emotion, the spirituality that's underneath, that's in the hastara, and that's where I'm being megala, this das. And when I start connecting to that place, and I start just acknowledging, I don't know how I'm getting out. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no solutions. I'm recognizing the problem. But I'm recognizing the problem. That in itself is going to be megala all the stars until we're going to bring the Malchus B'Iskasya to become Malchus B'Isgalia, and it's going to be V'Hoysel Hashem Amlucha, and we're going to be Zoichet to the Mashiach, to the Das Elyon Beis Hashem.
Amen.